Hello, my dear class. Teacher Katembe Kuomosa is back. Now the other time we looked into how we could form quadratic equations. So right now we are going to have a look at how we can solve quadratic equations we've formed. To get a recap of what we had the other time, we had was an intention of buying a plot whose dimensions were the length of the plot was 4 meters more than the width. Therefore, he wanted to know the area of the plot. The length was 4 meters more. 4 meters more than the width. 4 meters more than the width. So we also wanted to know the area of the plot. Therefore, what we had to do, we had to draw a diagram of this nature. So we say let W be x meters, and then the length be 4 meters more, that is x plus 4 meters. Therefore, its area was we saw L times W, where our L is x plus 4 times that. And this one had to be multiplied by x and then by 4. Therefore, the area was stated to be as x squared plus 4x. These were in meters squared. Those were in meters squared. Then you just imagine that after getting this expression, then it is told again that the area has been measured and now the area is equated to 60 meters squared. Now you can be told, now find the value or find the true dimensions. The second task is, if x squared plus 4x equals to 60. Now we've been told find the true dimensions of the plot. The true dimensions of the plot. Now when we have such, what we have to do is that now we have the quadratic equation, which is x squared plus 4x equals to 60. Now we want to solve for the value of x, and when we get the value of x, we shall substitute in to get the length and then the width. Therefore, as per today, we are going to have a look at how we could solve quadratics by factorization method. Therefore, what we have to do always is we have to refer back to the general quadratic mother equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. When we are solving quadratic equations, this one has to be equated to 0. Now let us compare this one and this one. So we write this one. We write it as x squared plus 4x minus 60 equals to 0. What we've done, this is x squared, 4x, this is the 4x. Then we brought this one to this side to be minus 60, because the positive, when the process equals side becomes a negative, equals to 0. Then we relate these two. When we relate these two, we are seeing that a is equal to, here the design is 1, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 4, this is x, this is x, therefore this b equals to 4, and then c, this is our c. Our c is being equated to negative 60. Negative 60. Now when we are solving by factor method, it means that there is an element of factor. We have to look for factors, and those factors, they have to be compliant with these rules. That for the factor product is a times c. That when we multiply those two factors, we have to get a c. And as per this one, our a is 1 and our c is negative 60. Therefore, we have to look for two factors. Here the factor product is negative 60. We have to look for two factors in a way that when we multiply them, we get negative 60. And then we factor sum. Factor sum is b. And for this case of ours, our b is equaling to 4. Now let us look for two factors in a way that when we multiply them, we get negative 60. When we add them, we get 4. Factors of negative 60. Automatically, if we can use our mental work, here we have negative 4, we have negative 10, and then it is positive 10, and then negative 6. Positive 10 and negative 6. Positive 10 times 6, we get negative 60, and then positive 10 minus 6, we get 4. Therefore, what we have to do next is to express 4x in terms of positive 10 and negative 6. So we are going to have our equation as x squared plus 4x minus 60 equals to 0. Now we are going to express this one in terms of positive 10 and negative 6. So we are having x squared plus 10x minus 6x, these ones, those are the ones we are using, minus 60 equals to 0. Now when we have this means that now we are going to factorize these ones by grouping. We are going to group this one and then that one. When we group these two, what is common? What's the common here is x. Here there is x squared and here also there is x. Therefore we have x outside, and so we have x plus 10 minus, here there is minus 6x, here there is minus 60. Therefore this means that there is a common factor of negative 6. So we have negative 6. When we have negative 6, it means that what's remaining here is x. And when it comes to this sign here, we have to think of a sign that when we multiply this negative 6 by the sign here, we have to get negative 60. Automatically that is going to be positive 10, which equals to 0. On identification, you are seeing that what is inside the bracket here is the same. Therefore, we take one of the brackets, and then also what's outside the brackets, we bracket them. We are going to say x minus 6 into x plus 10 equals to 0. And then the product of two numbers is 0 if one of them is 0. Therefore, we are going to say either x minus 6 equals to 0. Then that means that we are going to say x equals to, when this one crosses the cosines, becomes a positive 6. Or x plus 10 equals to 0. When this one comes this side, we are going to say x equals to negative 10. Now we have two values of x. This one is said to be x1, and this one is said to be x2. But remember, we have been told, find the two dimensions of the plot. Therefore, the two dimensions of the plot, we have x equals to 6 and then x equals to negative 10. When we are referring to dimensions of the plot, we will never have a negative dimension. Therefore, that means that what we have to take, it is the positive dimension. The positive dimension here we have 6. Therefore, we are going to say, therefore, the width of the plot is 60 meters, whereas the length of the plot is 6 plus 4, which gives us 10 meters. And when we have that, that means that what we've done, we have solved the simultaneous equation. We've solved the quadratic equation by factor method. Therefore, what I need you to try is, here are the numbers I need you to try. And the numbers I need you to try, here they are, our trials. Solve by factor method. When you are told that solve by factor method, it's the same as factorization. Here we have number 1. We have x squared plus 11x plus 18 equals to 0. And then number 2, we have 3x squared plus 5x minus 2 equals to 0. And lastly, we have 8x squared, this is number 3, have 8x squared minus 10x equals to minus 3. Now take note, for Roman number 3, never forget that on the right only 0 has to be put there. Therefore, you have to remove this one and redraw this side. Thank you, please. I wish that you do these numbers and then after that you submit to be marked. Thank you very much. God bless you.